Okay, Turkey Day. Year of the Corona. I have some notes here that I'm going to include here in the beginning as a precept to what will come after. So, this is like a fun fact of something that you probably didn't know. Not that it's important. It's important. It's important. And whether you knew or not, it doesn't matter. Because, here we go. So the precept. I am and have been for all the time I can remember, even as a small young child, been very aware of how I am in active community. Like, not whenever I'm in meditation's solidarity of isolation towards elation. With myself, it's whenever I'm in the midst of community and exchanging, I've always been so very mindful and controlled in my every expressive addition to verbally intermix with my fellow elders or brethren and be aware of the terrain and the atmosphere and all among that I was in. For my elders and brethren held the opinions that meant everything in the world to me, and who spoke the words I valued more than the price of pearls before swine. Fucking hogs. Because it's not time for these pigs to fly. But my pigs are fucking priceless, along with their pearls. And when pigs fly is now. Where I came from, where I live, in a world of flying pigs for time. Nothing's impossible, and hope is the oxygen that keeps everything alive and sustains all life. And your faith in this being the gospel as I live and breathe out love, active in shattered agony from the bottom's oblique abyss. Your faith in this is unessential to the life within where I'm headed, righteous in Northern Lights direction. I've got the maps that you, dear mother, gave me long ago in the moments of precious chapel. So ultimately, I'm just saying that I'm so very aware, so very focused in the awareness of my presence and what I want to convey in all that I say, to shoot for, what I want to look like and hope for to appear to be. With spoken active detail, I walk about to convey the presence I have control over, to convey what presentation's impression will leave behind. So, in regard to my everything of me, there's a few sections that are out of range when I'm in midst of community. Like, they don't exist. Like, even in my face, someone's talking about it, or they come up to mention it, I'm not like, oh yeah, I have it. No. I'm unfazed. You would never know. I don't know who taught me how to play poker, but, so anything short of the monsters under my bed being a real fear that isn't fictitious, they all hang out together there, and may as well be invisibilities, unseen translucence all around me, and it's quantum physical, where my senses are completely resilient, it would seem. And I weather in the distance, staring off until whatever is non-existent or mention of something that's awkward, or no one would ever know it's awkward, is moved on its own, or it's annihilated entirely by my godlike ability of, I hate this part, my godlike ability of misdirecting that steroids could knock out of a park. And I don't know why I have to say misdirection, because it just sounds so underhanded and wrong, but it definitely has direction. So it's guided. Guided it is. I've got the maps. Thanks to Mama. They're always out, so it's an innate in me. Whenever I'm amongst the people, I am, like a hunter, Anyways. Are you my mother? Oh, mother, are you out there? Mother, should I build the wall? Bah! Knock them down, more like. So now on with it. Knock them down, more like the walls. The wall. So strong, wide, and tall. My own personal prison. I've made my own. To lock down myself and all of my secret fears of resentments I denied in isolation that overflow the capacity of my lone population of ones skipping about within the denial of all locked in the cellar of non-existent abandonments that are too painful to not be contained. They're nothing to lug around, just to weigh me down, and my every step floating on air from rose-colored window to rose-colored view of all I allow my eyes to look down upon with simple beauty and charms of small tokens, with all of my heart's love and every one I've spent with and among. All of the moments of sacred time, holy as communion is consumed nutrient in my soul, as I relish in the beautiful pain that the consumption of each one is staggering as I live on into the next second to pass, as I live in church, my sector of God's love in every step, with the swampy terrain of my trudging along as my galoshes remain soaked in blood, flowing out of me, the source of this red ravine that bleeds from me. Long ago, I found myself in desperate attempt to scoop my heart and my gut out of my shoes before anyone came upon me covered in such a bloody mess. When I realized it wasn't stopping and I needed some rain boots if I was going to be fated to puddle through the swamps of sadness, I have yet to bleed out, and I must admit several times I did far more than just pray to do so. But my ultimate goal here in writing this is not going to go on and on like so many of my endless pieces written, bearing all the secrets of my soul in code. Nope. This one, Mother, is very simple, actually. And improv. I have been really struggling with my life and how I have been so particular with certain things that have really shut me off from experiencing a lot of other everyday things for the masses. And this strickenness that happened just a bit ago was profound within my fight for my ideals and just my way leading up to now. But in a moment, it was an understanding of a word, or the concept of several words, actually. For an extremely long time, and the very heavy time I spend in anguish over you so often. And as I was folding my towels in front of the mirror, stacking them in perfect symmetry, color-coded as well, of course, it was like, tink, the slightest faintness of such mind-blowing, all-consuming. I'm completely encompassed within such revelation. I seriously want to scale the exterior walls of this building and to do backflips off of it, landing on my feet. Only for this. So, for all of my longing to be loved and my famished need to be known, like for the want or desire within another person to want to know me. So many of my every waking seconds I live in my mind with you, with Alea, with Jimmy, with my sister, whoever. I live alone in pain. so painful since the realization of how no matter what I do or how much time I spend strategically expressing myself among those dear to my soul that still don't seem to have a clue who I am or care and say and treat me like some fucking stranger. They don't want to know me. They don't long to know who I am and how I feel, or even better ask to wonder and understand why I feel that way or how I actually spend my time and where I'm headed, taking the way I go because of all that my world revolves around, and why or why not, with 2 ears that listen twice as much as they talk with one mouth, because they are listening and accepting me however I am, whoever I'm with or without. And that I could not ever make anyone want to know me. So, in the realization of that, I have remained living within the lonely way as I muscle through this time with these still endless rainbows I've got in my pocket for whoever may need one and passing along my way. For I'm only to be seen when I'm happy. I do not like to be seen sad. In fact, I truly maintain to abide in this personal preference of only exposing myself to my pain, and will only linger out to be amongst the people when I'm on the spunky chipper kicking my giddy up way I walk in most all of the time. So with that, I want to say to you, I have spent so much raw time with myself, loathing the creature before me in the mirror, hating my every molecule, ashamed and angry, weak and humiliated, and all mortified within that I couldn't escape or run away from. In this soul, I had to accept all of my bullshit because I was stuck with my immortal soul, and I steady faced the facts of who I was, who I am, who I want to be. And I've spent every day since July 5th, 2001, striving to be better each day, a better person, attentive to my mistake and repairing them each day along the way, maintaining the few simple morals that laid the foundation of my complex, stationary within me, mobile in my every step, active and forward with progression to go on as I will the life in through my nose and out through my mouth, and look ahead to try again, so thankful for the opportunity to do so within each second, given in precious gifts wrapped by God. And how to wrap this one up for you, as I've been led by fine example to live the same. So I look at my funky self in the reflection of righteousness in the tink that was then the faintest whisper, is now raining down on me in choirs of gospel and hymns from all the big mamas love in heaven, with trumpets and banjos rejoicing in the revelation. I know myself. Good. Like hard fucking truths on the daily, smack my shit in the face. First one to hand me my ass with my own hand as I shape up and move on better every time. And two, by the way, Jodine, after all of this time, I realize I fucking love myself. I love my fight. I love my purpose. I love my goals. I love who I am, uncompromising and opinionated. I love my lead behind the scenes. I love my dedication and my discipline, seen or unseen. I see. And I know. And God knows, because God sees every flippin' moment with me, and that is profound, and is all that it is all that I am, because it began with my mother. And every facet of my entirety that I love for the work and its progress would not be the fine mess that it is without the every action, every choice, and every word exchanged, had and given by this blessed woman, in or out of the fucking flesh in her presence, permeates my every action's entirety and built the basic structure of all I live and breathe, that I have based everything on, or away from, to keep or not ever do, as I compare to base all of my personally contrived life, mapping out the blueprints all the way down to the hairline fractures, the labyrinth in my mind's eye of my soul's course. For all the reflection to know by learning from all I grow as I keep planting on in this extravagantly vast biosphere, containing the garden I hope to someday look as incredible as the green thumbs of my mother's decadence in such nature and gifts that her garden grows. I love you, Mama. Please forgive my distance, for I was only following your lead by example to maintain such separation.